Hi guys, my name's Misty. I'm here for Digital Ritual, and today I'm going to take you through a 15 to 20 minute sequence that's really going to focus on your shoulders, and we'll do a really nice Vinyasa at the end that will prepare us for a little Pranayama practice. So all you'll need today, and it doesn't really matter if you don't have the exact props available to you at home, just something similar. So a blanket, and you can use a blanket from your couch or a towel or something. 2 yoga blocks, and if you don't have yoga blocks, you can always use books or something like that. And if you have a bolster or a pillow and you don't have the other props, that could also come in handy. So if you just grab those bits and pieces now, then come to your mat or wherever you're going to practice from today, and we're going to begin. So the first shape we're going to begin in today is on hands and knees in a tabletop. And the first thing you really want to make sure of is when you come into your tabletop that you use something to measure yourself out. I often say this, that it doesn't really matter how long you've been practicing for, it's always surprising to see how your measure is off a little bit. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a right angle in your wrist joint and then a right angle from your hips to your knees, and that will ensure that you're in the center of your joint space. So once you have that, take the blocks away and just organize yourself at right angles. And then from there, just spin your middle fingers into touch in the center of your mat, and then rotate on the heels of the hands so that the palms face forward again. And that will make sure that you're in the center of your shoulders. And then when you're ready, look forward, and we're just gonna start with a couple of cats and cows. So the nature of being in your shoulders puts you in your second floor. If you think about your body as being your house. And the second floor is really about community. It's really about your ability. It's really about communication. And lots of your organs live in your second floor. So everything from the top of your pelvis to the roof of your mouth. And it's really how we use both hands to develop ourselves in the world. So let's just start to wake up all of our floors, and then we'll put some more attention into our shoulders, our hands, and our wrists. And then if you like, you can start to speed this up a little bit. And if you haven't really found your breath yet, now's a really nice time to find your breath. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And then plug down through the tops of your feet. And then when you come through, really take your vision above the horizon. And what's really important here is that if you're somebody who usually goes slow, then go a little bit faster today. And if you're somebody who usually goes quick, then maybe just slow it down a little bit so that you give yourself the opposite of what you usually would. And just stay a little bit longer. And then take a big, deep breath in. Hold yourself full. Press down through the tops of your feet. Push the mat away from you. And then exhale and release back to center. And then we're going to flip the wrists, but we're going to take our shoulders the whole way around so that we can really circumnavigate our shoulder joints. We want to give our shoulders lots of information. So the nature of society these days is that we're encouraged to really augment our strengths and to really up our skills and juggle a lot of balls. And so a lot of people tend to feel like they really do have the weight of the world on their shoulders. So swim your arms all the way around so that you're really flossing out your shoulder joints. And when you go all the way around, then you really get a sense of where feels a little stuck, where feels a little dense, and where feels like it really glides easily. And the nature of doing both sides is one side will often feel quite different to the other. Life happens differently on both sides of the body. So just notice which side feels more comfortable, which side feels less comfortable, and just keep going all the way around. Next time you come all the way around, plug in through the thumb sides of both hands, and then just start to spin towards the right. So when you spin towards the right, really think about spinning with time, same way as you would read a clock. And if you think about the world exists out on the right. We constructed time so that we could really organize ourselves. So as you move around to the right, really think that you're organizing everything that is on the right side of your body. Beautiful. And then go left, so go in the other direction. Left is really about your own personal spin. Sometimes it can feel really hard to go this way, and then for some people, it feels really nice to go this way. So just keep going around towards the left, And the body loves to follow patterns, so once you can see that you're spinning towards the left, then your shoulders spin towards the left, your knees spin towards the left, so the body likes to repeat itself. And then come forward. Let's find center again, and then flip the left palm so that it faces forward. So now you just have your right palm flip back, and then tuck your toes, and let's lift up to a tiny little downward facing dog. I'm gonna find 3 breaths here. Bend through your knees a lot and stick your butt all the way up. And this might feel really strong on your wrist. It does on mine. So if you feel like that, know it's completely normal. And then bring it all the way back down again. Untuck your toes. And then flip your right palm forward and take your left arm back. Keep a little micro bend in the elbows. If you think about locking out your joints, when you lock a door, you can't get in, you can't get into that room. So when you unlock a joint, it's like unlocking and giving yourself the key to a little door. From here, tuck your toes, lift up to that little downward facing dog. Soften your knees and stick your butt all the way up and keep looking forward. 2 more breaths here. Last one. So good. Bring your knees back down, untuck those toes, flip the left hand forward, and you can just shake out your wrist for a moment because we're gonna find a really big finisher. Find those right angles, flip both arms back, little micro bend in the elbows, and then tuck both toes, lift up, downward facing dog with both wrists flip. It is a lot. 3 breaths here. Really allows your lungs to move towards the front of your body. Last breath. And then exhale the breath out. Bring it all the way down. Good job, guys. Unflip those wrists. And then from there, just sit back on your feet for a moment. Let's give the opposite of your hands a little bit of attention. I love doing this at home because it feels really good on your feet and it feels really nice to give your toes some love and attention. So there's a couple of variations. I like to come right up onto the balls of my feet to begin, just to make sure that I'm plugged in from my big toes all the way to my little toes. And then you can come all the way down. If you want to be hardcore, just sit back on your heels. You can do that. Otherwise, you can bring a block underneath the front of your knees. Remove any flesh from your sit bones and sit that way. Otherwise, this is my personal favorite. Bring a block underneath your sit bones and you can sit back on your heels like this. And that really gives you a lot of length in your spine. Beautiful. And then hold on to opposite elbows. We're going to find 20 breaths here, bringing your arms above your head and then bringing them back down again. So now your shoulders should feel like there's a lot more space there. There's a lot more fluency. In and out, in and out. And all the natural curves of your spine are present. Your shoulders eventually will feel nice and free and your toes will feel like they're on fire. In and out, really opening and closing your windows on your second floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in, fill all the way out. Hold yourself full and pressurized, and then exhale, release the arms, come off that block. And then from here, just sit back down on the tops of your feet, and then lift your knees, rock forward and back, and forward and back. So really give the tops of your feet your attention and your love here. Nice. And then from here, let's just come straight back onto our hands and our knees and find our first plank. Once you're in your first plank, look forward and then lift your hips, find downward facing dog. When you find your downward facing dog, what I really want you to think of here is that opening of the door. So soften your knees so that you're not locking out through your knees. And you'll notice that once you have that, you're able to lift your sit bones up a little higher. Lift your heels up, round your outer armpits in towards your heart space. And rather than looking back at your legs, because when you do that, it's a lot easier to round through the spine. You want to soften your knees and look forward, because forward is where we're moving towards. Send your lungs towards your thighs. 3 breaths here. Two more. Last one. Beautiful work. Now, ground down through your left hand and then just take your right hand to your sacrum. So what you want to feel like is that you really have your 2 legs and your left arm supporting you. So how does it feel to take one of your pillars of stability away? You're really filling your right lung up and your left arm and your legs are really working here. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then bring your right hand down, switch sides. Take your left hand to your sacrum. And what you really don't want to go for here is have your butt falling off to the side. You want your pelvis to stay nice and stable so that your arms and your legs are really working for you. Know what it feels like to have that pillar of stability, your left arm taken away. 2 more breaths. Last one. Bring your hand down, travel forward to a plank. And then let's swim the shoulders around here. So flipping the wrists like you were before in your tabletop. Now you're finding it at a plank. And this is where you really get lots of information about your shoulders. So your legs should be engaged. Your shoulders should be going all the way around. So you're really swimming all the way around. And what you don't want to, and I'm guilty of it too here, is you don't want your pelvis to open up. You want your pelvis to stay nice and stable. So that the only thing that is working for you right now is those shoulders. Nice. Go all the way around. It's hard work, I know. One more. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. And now come forward, find upward facing dog. Really make your lungs available. And then lift your hips. Downward facing dog. And just start to move forward and back from downward facing dog to upward facing dog. You'll get a bit of heat going. And just notice if your shoulders feel like they're really working for you here. And if you feel like all you're using is your arms and your legs, your arms and your shoulders, use your legs a little more. Beautiful. 2 more. And then when you're ready, let's find downward facing dog. Hand, hand, foot, foot. So the archetype of downward facing dog is a 60-degree triangle, strength, structure, and stability, and you really want to use all 4 corners of your body here. Last breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, lunge your right foot in between your hands, lower down your back knee and untuck your back toe. Let's give our shoulders a little bit more attention. So what we're going to do is wrap our right arm underneath our left, and then you can even shake it out a little bit. So really get a good bind there, shake it out a little bit, and then come forward. So bring your knee towards your armpit, and then when you're ready, you're going to come up in a big back bend, send your elbows towards the center of the room and lift all the way up. Nice. 3 breaths here. Last one. Beautiful. Travel back towards center. Unwrap the arms. You can cactus your arms a little bit here. And then from here, let's tuck the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Sometimes it feels nice to come through, to come back again. Nice. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lunge your left foot in between your hands. Do the same thing. Bend your right knee down, untuck that back toe. This time, right arm goes underneath, left arm goes on top. Find the fit of that knee to that armpit, and then come up in that nice back bend. So find your elbows towards the center of the room and lift yourself all the way up. Big back bend here. You can nestle your chin in towards that left bicep. 3 breaths. Last one. So good. Travel back towards center. You can cactus those arms and then tuck your back toe, lift back, downward facing dog. So once you're in your downward facing dog, find a nice quick cross reference. So when I say cross reference, with your imagination, find your right hand, plug your right hand in and draw a line to your ball of your left foot and pull them apart. And then find your left hand with your imagination and draw a line to your right foot, the ball of your right foot, and pull yourself apart there. So you have this X marks the spot in the center. And you'll probably see that you have a more availability for a back bend now. So get your butt all the way up towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths. Last one. Beautiful. Drop down onto your knees. Now, for those of you at home who have 2 blocks, now's a good time to grab your 2 blocks. Bring them to the center of your mat, because all that wrist flipping is going to come in handy now. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can do this with a bolster or a rolled up blanket. Someone before suggested that you grab a foam roller, that could work too. But what you're going to do is come forward, flip both wrists so that they face back, and then bring the tops of your thighs onto the blocks. And my blocks actually need to be back a little bit because you want them to support the tops of your thighs, so not too low and not too high. So play around with the placement of the blocks. And what's really important here is if your hands are way too close together, you'll find it really hard to come forward. So make sure that your hands are wide enough, that your lungs and your chest can travel through, and really plug down through the tops of the feet, because your tops of your feet are really going to work for you here. You want a nice right angle from your shoulders to your wrist. Look forward, and then you're going to lower down to 90 degrees and then come back up again. And then lower and come back up. And just start to pump those out, coming down and lifting up. What I want you to imagine is that someone is sitting on your thighs and holding onto your thighs, so they're really plugging in the tops of your feet. Let's just do 10 more. 10, 9, and this really informs the shoulder. Really informs your wrists as well, which is like a little neck of the body. 5 more. 3, 2, make sure you're not going deeper than a right angle like me, and 1. Good job, everybody. When you're ready, you can come off those hands, come off those blocks, shake them out. So nice. So after that, now we're going to set up for a little arm vinyasa, and then we'll go through a little pranayama after the arm vinyasa. So come to sit. I'm going to film this from a couple of ways so that you can see what it looks like from the front, the side and the back. And then it really prepares you for reverse namaste. So if you don't have reverse namaste, it doesn't actually matter. You can find a variation, which I'll show you. But what's really important is that you follow the vinyasa, which is the cycle, so that then eventually reverse namaste will hopefully become nice and available to you. So sit comfortably, but sit formally. Sit up on something, a block or a blanket, and you can sit kneeling. Kneeling is really nice to sit for this sequence. Otherwise, you can also sit cross-legged if that's more comfortable for you. And then when you're ready, 1, bring your right hand, left knee. 2, left hand, right knee. 3, right hand, hold onto your left foot. 4, find a frame. So bring your right hand into a frame. 5, travel around your center. 6, left hand to right elbow. Draw that arm up the back. 7, draw an arc of heaven above you. 8, find a new connection. And 9, achievement, hands have met. 1, left hand, right knee. 2, right hand, left knee. 3, left hand, right heel. 4, make a frame. 5, find your center. 6, make new contact. Draw that arm up the back. 7, draw an arc above you. 8, a new connection. 9, achievement. Now I'll show you from the back. So buckle up. So 1, right hand, left knee. 2, left hand, right knee. 3, right hand, left heel. 4, find a frame. 5, travel around your center. 6, bring that arm all the way up the back. 7, draw an arc above your head. 8, find a new connection. And 9, put it all together. 1, left hand, right knee. 2, a polarity, right hand, left knee. 3, a trinity, a spin, left hand, right foot. 4 is a frame, so think you're making a window frame. 5, find your circumference, go all the way around. 6, make contact, draw that left arm up the back. 7, find the arc of heaven above you. 8 is a new connection. It's the long, hard road. Now you find the bind. And then 9, put it all together. achievement. Unravel that. I'm going to show you from the front one more time, and then the next time we're going to find reverse prayer. For those of you who don't know reverse prayer, I'm just going to show you from behind. Reverse prayer, reverse namaste, the hands meet the center of your back behind you. If that's not available to you, feel free to hold on to opposite elbows, okay? So let's set up one final time, and then we're going to sit for a short pranayama practice. So 1, drop in, right hand, left knee. 2, a polarity, left hand, right knee. 3, find a trinity, right hand, left heel. 4, frame up. 5, center and circumference, go all the way around. 6, make contact. Draw the right arm up the back. 7, draw the arc of heaven above you. 8, meet again. 9, put it all together, achievement. Release your left arm, bring it into reverse prayer. Really get yourself comfortable. Make sure your pinkies meet, your pointy fingers meet. And if that's not available to you, feel free to take the variation of holding on to opposite elbows. Otherwise, find your reverse prayer, get your seat nice and comfortable, and then close down your eyes. And then when you're ready, you're just going to flap your arms and your elbows backwards and forwards. And then you're going to add in a Bhastrika breath. So a Bhastrika breath is a forceful inhale and exhale. So just keep pumping the breath. What you want to do is really facilitate some space in your shoulders and make your lungs nice and available. So just keep pumping. Think about if you're a bird, you're really flapping your wings, you're preparing for takeoff. So just keep going. $20 more, and let's really sprint to the finish line. So if you want this to be over, then just soften your shoulders and pump a little harder. So keep filling yourself up and emptying out, in, beautiful. Keep pumping. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in, fill all the way up. Hold yourself full, 3 sips of air through the nose. 3 more. Sip through the mouth. And then exhale, but keep your arms where they are. Allow the pieces of you to soften, that need to soften. Keep your shoulders alive and available. And now with your eyes closed down, keep your shoulders where they are, and then just start to iron out the breath. And inhale for 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. And then exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 4. And then exhale for 4. And stay with that count, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. And if you'd like, once you get to the top of your inhale, you can even hold yourself full for 4 counts. And then exhale for 4 counts and hold yourself empty for 4 counts. And so one of my great pranayama teachers, Tejas, she thinks about using this analogy of creating a stable for your breath. So imagine your breath is a wild horse and you're putting your horse in a stable with the 4-part inhale, the hold at the top, 4-part exhale and the hold at the bottom. And so a stable is really a place where your horse can feel safe, can calm down a little bit if the breath or the horse has felt wild. And just find one more cycle of this breath in through the nose. Hold at the top for 4 counts and then exhale for 4 counts and hold the breath empty at the bottom. And then let your breath and your hands become free. And without too much fuss, just bring your hands onto the tops of your thighs. And keep your eyes closed down if that's available to you. And so the shoulders can be a place in the body that a lot of tension is stored, a lot of tightness can be stored, so it's hard work to really go into those joints and tidy up. So now just acknowledge the space that you've really created in your shoulders. Know what that feels like to feel like your lungs can be available. And now just let your belly be nice and soft and let your breath just come in and go out like the wind with no desire to change it. If you'd like to, you can sit for a little while now in meditation. Otherwise, this is where I'll leave you. Thank you for practicing with me. My name is Misty.